Time for some most ghost stories. This time it is about the Myling, which is a very special little child ghost from a murdered child. For facts around this being, check out my other video about them. You find the link as usual down below and in the right corner. Also, don't forget to do what all YouTubers nag about. Like, comment and subscribe. And if you want to support me, check out my Patreon and Ko-fi page. Also linked down below. Now, let's dive into some of the original stories told by people that was born and lived during the later half of the 19th century. Carl Ersson got a heavy load on his back from Dalarna by. Once Nergårds Anna's brother Carl Ersson walked down a road that winded its way at the edge of a bog. Out on the bog, something started to alter between whimper, squeaking and scream. Carl Ersson started to mimic the sounds, and 1, 2, 3, it started to whiz and crackle around him, and on his back he got a burden so heavy that the legs sagged under him. Like that, he pushed on all the way to the village, and just as he got to the first house, he got free again. But by then, his clothes were soaked by sweat. Carl Ersson wasn't human again for days. That was the dark spirit, Mörklacken. The calves was stoned to death, Småland, Vissefjärda. There was a farmer here in Vissefjärda. I don't want to tell where he lived, but he never got to keep one single calf. The first night after the calf was born, it died, and they didn't know why this was. Then it happened so that once when they just gotten a calf, they had a cobbler in the farm. They told the cobbler how it was and that they never got to keep one calf. "I will take care of that," said the cobbler. When the evening came, they carried the newborn calf into the house where the cobbler sat. They usually did that, by the way, in the old days, when the calf was newly born. The cobbler sat for a while sewing, and suddenly there was a little one that appeared, and he wasn't much taller than a foot. And dressed in grey he was, and he got the calf up and started to dance with it. The cobbler didn't believe his eyes. Then the little boy came up to the cobbler and said, "Cobbler, you are sewing, and I'm dancing with the calf." Then he went away to dance with the calf again, but he came back after a while. "Cobbler, you are sewing, and I dance with the calf." And he continued this until he had danced the life out of the calf. The cobbler thought this was very creepy. "Who are you?" he asked the boy. "I live in the box at the maid's feet," answered the boy. "Uh-huh," said the cobbler. "Is it so?" And then the little boy disappeared. In the morning when the farmer came back, the calf was laying there dead. "Yeah, you see," said the farmer. "There was nothing you could do." "Just you wait," said the cobbler. He ordered them that they should make a big fire in the oven. And when they have done so, the cobbler went to the maid's bed and tore up the end of the bed and found the box. He put a stick in the lid to lock it, and then he threw the box into the fire. Then it started to moan inside the box. "Take out the stick! Take out the stick!" it screamed. But they kept the fire going until everything had been burnt up. See, it was like this, that the farmer had made the maid in the family way, and when the baby came, they killed it and put it in a box, and put the box under the maid's bed at her feet, so it shouldn't be able to get out. The baby got his revenge by dancing all the calves to their death. But after that day, the farm got to keep their calves. The miller that lost his hearing, Södermanland, Björkvik. Well, the old miller got company by a gast, or myling. The older man was at Broberg at Näsbro cottage and was going home. Then he got to see a little child on the other side of the road that whimpered and cried, but not so loud. The old miller didn't care about the child until he reached the gate. Then he turned around and said, "If you're going to scream, you little devil brat, then you should scream properly." Then the gust started screaming so the eardrums of the miller bursted. The old miller got deaf and could never hear anything again. The 3 murdered siblings, Västmanland, Skinnskatteberg. They told this, the old ones in Ställberget, when I was a kid. There was a piece of skirt down in the village that got children, they said, but no one knew. And she got one after the other, and no one was the wiser about it because she murdered the children since she wasn't married. and one child she murdered in a sauna, and the other in a keg of beer, and the third one she killed off in a mud pit. Later she stood as bride with one that had no idea what kind of woman she was, and she got a child with that man too. At the evening when the wedding was held in a farm, the 3 children that she had killed off appeared, and they danced in the ring on the floor singing, "Sauna flappen, barrel tappen, little muddy penny. If mother hadn't got married this year, we would have been many." And then it got known that she had given birth in secrecy and killed them. So she ended up at the spinning house because she got so scared that she confessed to her crimes. And this should be the truth, because the ones that told about it should have known this. The mother got nursed to death, Södermanland, Svarta. So this was on another island. A company traveled from a market, and among them there was a maid, and she didn't want to stay on that island over the night when the others wanted to. When they had been in beds for a while, a huge man turned up in the room and grabbed the maid, and none of the others in the company could stop him. Then he is supposed to have said, "I haven't been able to suckle you for 18 years, but now I will suck you so the devil may take you." And then in the morning they found her dead. See, she had given birth to a child in secrecy and gotten rid of it there on that island.